What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Babbles Nonsense podcast. Today, we are going to keep it short and sweet since this is a holiday week. So happy early Thanksgiving for those who celebrate. Yeah, we're just going to kind of do a little update and housekeeping in this episode. So stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome back. I hope everyone is going to enjoy their upcoming holidays. If you're listening to this after Thanksgiving, I hope you enjoyed your holidays. Maybe you're traveling to your destination, or maybe you are still stuck at work waiting to be off. But either way, I hope everything is fabulous and amazing and happy for you this holiday. I get to travel to Nashville to see my family, my Nashville family. We used to do our Thanksgiving in Winchester, where I'm from in Tennessee, but my uncle has since passed. So the tradition has then went to a family member in Nashville who always hosts, and it's a lovely time. And I enjoy getting to see extended family members that we may or may not talk throughout the year, and just to catch up. But it's also good to see family members that, you know, you do talk to, but maybe they're long distance. Like my Aunt Debbie, she lives in Florida, so I get to see her like once a year unless I travel to see her. So it's always good to like visit in person versus via phone, via text. I know we live in a very social media world, but it is good to like sit down and have a face-to-face dinner, conversation, and whatnot. I'm also super excited that my cousin Hannah, the one that I mentioned on my Instagram a few weeks back, who won Mrs. America, she lives in Nashville. So I get the opportunity to interview her for the podcast just on pageant life and just how she feels about becoming Mrs. America. I love that she just posted, I believe, yesterday or the day before, that her daughter was in her first pageant and she won. So I'm sure we'll touch on all of that on the episode. I cannot wait for y'all all to hear it and just to like shed a different perspective into that world, if you will. All right, so I mentioned housekeeping in the intro, and what I meant by housekeeping is just to kind of give an update on the house situation, because I've had a lot of people reach out because I've kind of alluded to what, like, there's problems in the house, and I've posted some pictures, never really giving an explanation, never really saying like what's going on. And I'm limited on what I can say right now, and the reason why that is because this is probably going to end up turning into a legal situation, unfortunately. So I'm just going to be very brief on what I say. I have had water and moisture intruding into the house since 2021. And it was under warranty at the time that we found it because I bought a new construction home. I didn't build it, but I bought new construction, which comes with a 1-year home warranty. And so the warranty department had initially stated that this wasn't a warranty claim, which again, I'm not going to get into a lot of it because this will be all on a much longer episode once I know the resolution or solution to the issue. But the warranty department initially said that this wouldn't be under warranty, even though it was filed under warranty when I bought the home. And then, of course, after, some further digging, hiring some contractors, getting insurance companies involved, the builder then obliged that it was under warranty. And then, many weeks later, after, back and forth emails with the builder, I ended up hiring a structural engineer to determine the cause, since I felt like it was taking a long time. And I also felt like, I don't know how to word this. I felt like I wasn't being taken seriously. Now, whether I was or not, I don't know. That's just how I felt. That was my perception of the situation. So I hired a structural engineer to determine cause because, this is a huge investment. This is my first home. It was supposed to be my forever home. It was supposed to be, I bought something kind of out of my price range at the time and something a little bit nicer. Number one, because it was a good deal during COVID. And number two, because I was trying to make this for my ever home. I didn't buy my first home until my mid-30s. And I was just like, I want something that if I buy it today, I could live in it forever. And that's what I did. And so to protect my own investment, I decided to hire a structural engineer, which was suggested by the builder, which I did, and the structural engineer found the cause. They found multiple causes, actually, of the water and moisture intrusion into the home. And that's kind of where we're at right now. So the causes have been found, and now it's like trying to determine how it's going to be fixed, because the structural engineer, like wrote up a report with specific instructions on how this could be fixed to make the home sound and secure and whatnot. And so that's kind of where we're at, and I'm just going to leave it there. And I'm trying to decide once all of this is resolved, and like since we know the cause now, like once I get a resolution or something and I can sit down and actually like talk about everything in detail, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do this on audio only, or if I'm actually going to use my YouTube platform, which I don't know if y'all know this, but my podcast does go to YouTube as well. It's only audio on there, but it does go there. But I'm thinking about hiring a videographer to help me with this episode whenever I'm allowed to talk about it in full detail, just because I want to show pictures. And it's mostly just to inform people if you're purchasing a new home, or, you're building with a builder, like what your rights are and what you shouldn't, look for, and what you should and shouldn't accept when it's said and done. Not that I'm an expert in any means, but just from my own personal experience, because this has been very eye-opening, just to even deal with this at all. But other than that, that's been a lot, and that's been taking up a lot of my time in the past 4 months. But moving on from that, I just celebrated a birthday a few weeks ago, and I'm just not a huge birthday person. All my friends think I'm crazy because they're so used to having like huge birthdays and whatnot. I think it's just because the way I grew up. Like, we just didn't celebrate birthdays like that. It just wasn't a thing. So when somebody celebrates me, I'm just like, this is uncomfortable. But my friends are trying to slowly get me out of that shell. So I was just like, okay, let's just go have a girls' dinner, and let's go out for drinks for the night, and just, do something low key. So that's what we did. So we had like a girls' dinner. Then we went out, and everybody's boyfriends, husbands met up afterwards to have some drinks downtown, which, if y'all know me, y'all know that I'm a homebody through and through. Like, I can stay up watching movies at the house. I mean, that's rare. If you also know me, you also know that I fall asleep on the couch probably about 8 o'clock every night. But just going down, like, I love to dress up and go downtown. It's just not my thing when it comes to like trying to hang out with friends, I guess, because we felt so old. We were sitting at a bar and the music was just so loud, and we were like trying to talk to each other, and we were just like, are we that old now where we're like, I can't hear you? I mean, it was still a good time. We still had fun. And then me and a couple of my friends got a hotel room downtown and just stayed, just so that we could walk to bars, not worry about driving, and just have a good time. And then we woke up the next morning and we went to brunch, and it was a good time. That's what they say. I guess when you get older, like, you just appreciate the little things. Like, it's just, I appreciate that I had girlfriends to go out with me and just to celebrate me. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. Oh, well, one more thing I'm going to say. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I posted like a disposable camera, like Chronicles or whatnot. I just was in Target prior to going out that night, and I just saw the disposable camera, and I was like, oh, this would be fun. Like, I remember in college when we had disposable really high school, disposable cameras, and we would just take, crazy pictures, and you would always hate how they come out, because like half the time when you did a selfie, you didn't know if you got your whole face in it or not. So I was like, this would be a fun time. So brought that. But I will say $20 for a disposable camera is a bit much. That's a little crazy, because when I was in high school, they were 2 for $10. But when I just got the photos back recently, and I was just like, wow, this is so nostalgic, because it just makes me feel like I'm back in the 90s, like the brightness of the flash, and like cutting your heads off when you're trying to take the photo, and like not getting everybody's head in the picture and stuff like that. It was just funny, but it was a good time and good memories. Not to mention, that's probably the first printed photos I've had in years, because we're so used to taking them on our phone. But I will say, like, I was taking so many with the disposable camera, I didn't take some with my phone, and now I'm just like, oh man, I wish I had these memories on my phone, but I don't. But it was just fun. I highly encourage y'all to get disposable cameras and just have a good time with them, because it's funny. And then I guess the only other news that I have is I went and saw the new movie Wicked this past weekend with a friend, and it was so good. I've never seen the Broadway show Wicked, but this was fantastic. Like, obviously, like, movies can be a little bit more AI backgrounds, whatnot, than a Broadway show. But now I want to see it on Broadway. So the next time we go to New York, which I'm sure will be soon because my friend Mal loves to go to New York, I definitely want to go see it. But I don't want to give like too many spoilers away because this is a perfect movie to take some family and friends to over the holidays. And just definitely recommend going and seeing it. It's got a great message to the movie. Basically, like, be careful how you treat people with respect, because you just never know what someone's going through, and you just never know what it'll amount to in the future. But other than that, that is all that has been going on. I hope to have Hannah's episode out to y'all in the next couple of weeks. Me and you also have been brainstorming with new ideas that we are going to come up with and get recorded. So stay tuned for that. And I hope everyone had the most amazing Thanksgiving. If you're listening to this after Thanksgiving, or if you're listening to it before, I hope you have the most amazing upcoming Thanksgiving with your family and friends. And until next time, guys, bye.